Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stacey Pierre and I am here to talk to you about my first week with the Artist's Way. I'm sitting outside a coffee shop with a matcha latte. Matcha break. And I figured that I would come week by week and talk about my experience with the Artist's Way, what I've been learning, what I've been doing, and just to give you insight on how this journey has been transforming me. And I'm gonna be real, I don't know why it's so hard for me to look at the camera sometimes. I feel like I do this a lot, so bear with me. I'm gonna be real, I am doing this for a very specific reason and for a very specific intention. Excuse me. I want to have some sort of spiritual awakening, spiritual coming together that comes from this book. So I'm just gonna start and talk to you about what the chapter is about. Just a little bit about what the chapter is about, because if you really want to know, you probably should pick up the book, because everybody's perception of what the reading is about is going to be a little different. But here's the book. Don't mind the soy sauce on it. And this was about recovering a sense of safety. Let me get to the front. Yes. So chapter 1 was about recovering a sense of safety. And I thought that was a really interesting way to kick off the book, just because I feel like a lot of times, when we think that we are not qualified to do something, we aren't ready to do something, we aren't the best person to do something, we are often saying those things because we're scared. And I've come to that realization a while ago through therapy. But seeing her start off with recovering a sense of safety, that was really interesting to me, just because, I feel like a lot of books say this, they just hop into, oh, this is why you should be an artist, and this is why you should do this is why you should do that. Just very straightforward, and they don't really talk about the underlying psychological factors that go into what is stopping you from doing the thing that you really want to do. So throughout the chapter, Julia recommends and talks about essentially battling your inner critic and contending with the people, thoughts, ideas that have been stopping you from entering your full artist way, right? So one of the activities, there are 10 activities to do, but I only did 2 because I'm not even gonna put myself down. I just only did 2. So I only did 2 of the activities, and one of the activities was to write down some of the people that have put you down in your artistic journey. So people that have said critiques, or people that have really just have been a negative force in the formation of yourself as an artist. So I wrote down 3 names, and then another activity was to write down a horror story that has happened in the past with your artistic way. And I did both of those things, and I found them very helpful, just because I feel like pinpointing where the conversation starts, the negative conversation starts, that's super important, just to understand okay, yes, I have these perceptions of what it means for me to be an artist, but also why do I have these perceptions of what it means to be an artist? Why am I experiencing this? Why do I think like this? I think that's really important too. And that is something that I have come to terms with, that when it comes to me being an artist, I feel like a large part of the reason why I have been at a standstill has largely been because of me, but also a smidget has been because of what I experienced when other people have told me things about my artistic ventures and my artistic ambitions. So that was really important, and something that I promised to myself that I'll be doing for the next 365 days is writing the morning pages. I didn't really dedicate myself to the artist dates, but I did dedicate myself to the morning pages every week, every day. And guess what, y'all? If you see this, you can't necessarily see what I've written, but so far I have written my morning pages. I want to be dramatic and like do the whole thing like this. So far I've written my morning pages every day for the past 10 days. So 10 days out of 365. I can't do that math right now. Well, that's 3.65%. 3.65%, I believe, right? Or point, yeah, something like that. Sorry, I had to take a matcha break. Yeah, that's 3.65%. I have to wait to my goal. So that's really incredible for me. But honestly, this video is not going to be long because I just wanted to check in, and I don't know how I'm supposed to be. I feel like there's a specific way that I need to be doing these check-ins, which is another block that I'm having. Just telling myself that there's a specific way I need to do it, or seeing some other people do it and being like, oh, I need to do it like them. Something that I have come to terms with while exploring the artist's way and like my thoughts throughout the morning pages is that I really want to curate my own taste, my own style, my own way of doing things, because I feel like so often we mimic other people and then we get mad that we're getting certain results when it's just like, how can you expect to get different results when you're copying somebody else and their style that they've curated over time? So that's something that I really want to work on, just cultivating a sense of style, cultivating a sense of doing things that is specific to me and unique to me and doesn't necessarily mimic what other people are doing. So that's really important. That's something that I have been coming to terms with. And what else did I want to talk about? You know, something that I really wanted to discuss is like my life's work and what I'm discovering with the morning pages. So part of me feels like, okay, so get this. I'm in marketing, right? And part of me feels like I got into marketing because I told myself a story that I wanted to be a storyteller. Part of me feels like I got into marketing because I told myself a story that I wanted to be a storyteller, and then I got into marketing because that's where you tell stories. Like a lot of, like, that's where you can tell stories and like be profitable, right? Like you can work as a marketing coordinator, as I do at the moment, or you can work as a strategy officer, SEO coordinator. There's so many different roles in marketing that you can do to earn a living, right? And like I didn't go like the film director route or like the script writer or the writer route because I just felt like, okay, like I like doing those things too much. So it's like, would that take away the joy of doing those things, right? And like I also wanted to be authentic to myself because like I don't really watch a lot of YouTube. I don't really watch a lot of movies. I mostly watch YouTube. So I didn't want to like say, oh, I'm gonna be this amazing film director and I don't even watch film, you know? But maybe that's also a limiting belief that like I need to get over. And I have just been thinking a lot about my life's work. I've been thinking about a lot of the things that like I'm doing currently and what I want to do versus what I'm currently doing right now, and how it's not very aligned, but I realize the importance of what I'm doing right now. And if I can be in this season and learn everything that I need to learn, it can benefit me for future seasons. But I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty difficult being in a place where you feel like it's pretty difficult being in a place where you feel like it's hard to explain, where you feel like you are where you prayed to be a couple of years ago, but that prayer wasn't necessarily the most authentic, most genuine. It didn't come from like a source of like abundance. It mostly came from a source of like, I need to figure something out and I need to choose something and I need to pick something. So it came from a source of like rush and scarcity that I wouldn't figure things out. And now that I'm a little bit older and I'm about to approach my 30s, I want to curate a lifestyle and really build a life that I'm proud of. And I want to build a life where I can see myself as an artist, live as an artist, and be okay as an artist. The more I do my morning pages, and the more like I go on these artist dates, and the more I talk to people that are doing the things that like I really admire, I realize that like I too can be an artist. And like I've thrown how do I say it? I've thrown so many ideas at the wall, right? Like I've thought about journalism, museum curation, writing, film direction, and there's so many different things that I could potentially be doing right now. I just want to not pick something from a place of scarcity, but pick something from a place of like pure interest and abundance and move in that direction. So that's what I've been thinking about right now, just focusing on my life's work. And I know that like it takes time, right? But I don't know, like, and I guess it's the scarcity mindset of me thinking right now. I just feel like there's not much time. Like I'm about to turn 30, and like a lot changes after 30, and I just want to have something to show for this life. And not saying that I have to produce, because like what's to show for this life is that I am alive and I am a human being and I have my lived experience, you know. But I really want to get into my life's work, and that's something that I'm interested in. So I'm going to start just doing things like reading and writing, which is crazy because it's like it seems like I always come back to writing. Which like that's tea. But that was my experience with the first week of The Artist Way. I'm going to make sure that videos in the future are a little bit more curated, and not curated in a sense of like I'm bringing in different like clips, but like curated in the sense that like I'm selecting different things to talk about and like really like structuring like how those things are going to be discussed. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I appreciate you for listening to me, and I hope that you got something out of this video, and I hope that in the future I can look at these videos and look and just be inspired by myself figuring it out. So that's the end of this short film, and I hope you have a great day, and yeah, talk to you later.